and let's talk about how the industry looks like in the sweepstakes vertical. The first thing I would say to you is that iPhones are very saturated. No one really believes this ad anymore because I'm sure that most of you have grown up since the beginning of the internet, and you've seen those ads that says you've won an iPhone, or you've won a phone or a smartphone. And those ads, because they have been so much repeated, have started losing flash against other types of prizes. So sweepstakes is very much one of the strongest industries and verticals in this field, but the contest prizes have started to diversify away from simple iPhones. So right now, at least it's what we see, is that money prizes are doing much better. Dasha talked about this earlier, and I can confirm it. Money is for sure, one of the top verticals in terms of prizes. But other prizes, which I will speak about later, also have been growing a lot in terms of results. Of course, I also say the same thing as Dasha said earlier, which is that mobile traffic is the majority of the traffic of this market. It was interesting because she spoke about the 80-20% rule, and this is something that I will also explore later, not just on the traffic, but also in other tips and benefits that you will see on this in this vertical. So non-cash prizes can be very effective, and depending on the tier of the countries, you will see different kinds of prizes. So yeah, it's important for you to diversify the type of testing that you are doing. It's very important that you split test different prices, because the same traffic that you buy, let's say you buy traffic on RichAds, the same traffic can have very different performance with different prices. So even if the offers, let's say you are testing 3 different offers, they all ask for the same thing. They ask for an email from the user, and the traffic is exactly the same. But the price of the sweepstake, of the contest, is 3 very different things. The fact that the price is different can affect the performance of the offer, and you might see very different results based on this. So it's crucial that you split test different prices, even if the traffic is the same. Now, the top type of prizes that we see for the contests, for the sweepstakes, varies a bit by tier. In the past, like 4 years ago, so I joined the industry 6 years ago. Like 4 to 6 years ago, most of the sweepstakes was just iPhones, and just promoting an iPhone was enough. But this has changed, and now different verticals and different prices are gaining traction. So it's important for you to see what kind of price or what kind of content you have that can work best for you. What you've seen in terms of top prices and top geos is that there is increasingly a split by tiers. So tier 1, because of the COVID crisis and because of this stay at home, we have started to see 2 big verticals. One of them is gaming and electronics, so Xbox, PlayStations, TVs, things like this, iPads, devices like this have been gaining quite a lot of traction in terms of potential prizes for the user. This is so it's still electronics like iPhone, but the type of electronics is different. It's more gaming focused because people have been staying at home for almost 2 years, and a lot of them became gamers in the past 2 years. For example, I'm a gamer as well, and this has caused this vertical to escalate in volumes. And then, of course, now with the COVID crisis moving on and society opening up, people are starting to look for new activities outside. And this means that fitness, gym membership, this type of products or physical activity have been gaining quite a lot of traction. So, for example, we've had some offers in the past where the person, the winner of the contest, gains 1 year of free gym membership, for example. So this type of verticals has been gaining some traction. And of course, finally, money for tier one. But like I was saying, the money type of price has been gaining traction in all the countries. It's the only new vertical that is gaining traction in all the countries. So money actually, I would say, is tier one, but also the other tiers, because people like money. And because of this crisis of COVID, where people lost their jobs, lost their livelihoods, or they were forced to stay at home, money prices has been gaining quite a bit of traction. Now for tier two is Latam, Asia, those types of countries, developing countries that are growing in purchasing power in the last few years, has been one of the top verticals that has been gaining traction in in sweepstakes is traveling, especially free trips to Europe has been something that I've seen gaining traction in these verticals. And money, of course, money is always key. And then for tier two and three, like I was saying, money prices for these countries, because of the difficult situation that they find themselves in due to COVID, the restrictions and staying at home, the lockdowns. Money has been something that has been gaining a lot of tractions. And one of the case studies that I will talk about later on, actually, the price is money in Emirates. But this is something that I will explore much more later. Now, what are the top countries that at least we in Mobidea have seen gaining traction? If we split by tiers, I would say that in tier one, English-speaking countries and mainland Europe has been quite strong, especially with credit card flow, has been growing quite well recently. Of course, these countries, you can make quite a lot of money, but they require a bit more investment, and you need to know what you are doing in order to avoid losing money with testing, because the traffic here is expensive. But these are countries that do really good when it works, because the prices are high, the payouts are high, and you can make interesting amounts. Now, another type of country that we've been seeing quite a lot of success recently, and in the case of Mobidea, we actually had a contest last month of Ramadan. We even sent out some prizes on the mail to some of our top affiliates that reached their goals. Middle East and Arab-speaking countries. So these countries have been growing very much in the past year and a half, I would say, especially in the sweepstakes vertical, because the people that live in these countries, the type of prizes that they enjoy is usually money or expensive electronics. And these countries, Arabic-speaking countries, have been really good in terms of results, and the cost is not so good, is not so high, the cost of the traffic, but the prices are quite good, especially in oil economies like Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait. Those countries, their traffic is not as expensive as tier one, like in Europe, but because they are oil economies, the prices of the offers, the payouts, are still relatively high. So these countries in the last year and a half have been doing really good in this sweepstake vertical. And then finally, in all the tier three countries, I would say Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and Malaysia have been doing really good for us, these three countries, because there is big variety of offers, and the traffic, the payouts are usually small, but the traffic is also very cheap. So you can really optimize well the offers, because you can see a lot of conversions, and this allows you to optimize the offers relatively well. So these are the three different kinds of markets that we see that are doing really good in sweepstake